Wow, so good morning. It is a new day out here on the Spiritual Ranch, and it is a beautiful day indeed. It's been raining its ass off these last couple days. It's real dark, real stormy, you know. Not just weather-wise either, you know. A lot of crazy shit going on out here today. There's a lot of, truthfully, a lot of spiritual attacks, it seems, you know, or what people believe to be spiritual attacks. I've been thinking a lot on this topic, you know. But damn, it's a beautiful day. I think what a lot of people don't recognize nowadays is what we got inside ourselves, you know. I think that we spend a lot of time trying to find people we could blame, you know, or maybe entities that we could blame or whatever, because we have certain things or aspects of our life that are going in directions that we don't necessarily see the benefit of, you know. That spiritual attack, because every one of us is a vast garden inside, you know. And I've been trying to touch on these matters a little bit, trying to get this message out one way or another. It may come out redundantly, it may come out stupid, you know, to a lot of people. They might not hear it, but that don't matter, you know, because in all honesty, the message is to me. No way, you know. It's for me, because ultimately, only I can attack myself. There's nobody else out here attacking us. It ain't that way, you know. There might be individuals who play a role in our lives that bring us down a path that even though it may be dark, it's enlightening, you know. Honestly, you know, in all honesty, like, we are God's kingdom. You are God's kingdom, you know. As I make this video, the guy looking back at me, that's God's kingdom, you know. That's my tree. That's my universe. That's my nebula. That's my everything. That's my gateway, my portal, you know, to have this experience that we all share. But only I see that. So you only exist in me, because I've created you, you know, inside of me, as an aspect of me, as a part of me that I, as God, am trying to experience, you know, as God's avatar. We do this together. We do this alone, but we do it together. I wouldn't be here without you, because I only exist in you, you know? That's what Jesus said. He said the only pathway to heaven is through him, you know? The man was right. That's the man was right, you know? And so, spiritual attack, right? What is spiritual attack, you know? Well, spiritual attack, I would say, is when we give others permission to convince us that the path to heaven is through them. That's spiritual attack. Jesus wasn't going to let him do that, you know? And so they killed him, because they don't want you to know that. You are the image of God. Your tree is the garden. The only pathway to the kingdom of God is through you. You have the key. You. So do I. You know? We all are one, you know? One Most High. We all work for the same Most High, you know? And so we all need to be more aware of this and be Most High in ourselves and what is Most High in ourselves, you know? I mean, look what Most High does, you know? Never seen anything that wasn't beautiful that was created by our Most High, you know? By us. You know, we all share this because we all perceive this to be real. We all perceive this to be under our feet, you know? We perceive those rocks to be hard, right? And that grass to be greener as it grows. You know? But we don't see this garden that makes us all as an internal aspect of ourselves. We don't realize that this is our vision. When you touch something and it's cold, that's because you believe it's cold. That's your perception, you know, because you're God. You create that reality. Through you, God operates. God wants to experience that experience as you experience it. You know? But God, Most High, it wants to know even how that bird experiences it. How that blade of grass feels when you touch it, and then you say, "Oh, it's wet." Well, the grass is feeling, well, that's dry, maybe. But that's what we're all trying to experience. We're all trying to have this experience, you know? And when they spiritually attack us, they take away that perception. And they convince you of what it is, you know? Some might touch that blade of grass and call it dry. Some might touch it and call it wet. Some might say it's cold. Some might say it's hot. You know? Some might say it's alive. And some might say it's dead. You know? But what you think is the only thing that matters most, because that's what God is inquiring in you. That's what God's asking from in you, you know. That's why today there's all these influencers, you know, and like everybody's got an opinion, and honestly, it's like not properly breeding plants, you know, or animals or whatever, you know, like the dominant genes, they might dominate for a couple generations, and there might seem like things are productive, you know, that's powerful, but eventually it just gets watered down and watered down, and it's watered down and watered down, and then you don't have nothing, you know. And so we've allowed spirits or entities, you know. Money is a great example, because money requires that you feed it to grow. It grows. Money talks. Bullshit walks. You know, so money is kind of a living thing, you know. It's trying to manifest to become like you and I, which are living representations of God, you know, Most High. Money don't know jack shit. Money doesn't have feelings, you know. It could pretend to be a living thing. It's like fire, you know. But in reality, it consumes. It's here to consume. You know, it's here to influence you so that you see that it has value, and you're willing to sacrifice the value that you have within that nobody can see. That's how money's trying to influence your relationship with God, with yourself. Money's trying to tell you, hey man, you're the pathway of heaven, but you got to buy your way through that shit. You got to have me. Now that's bullshit, man. Now that's a lie. You know? I don't know how they convinced the first men and women to go for it when they had the bounty that surrounds me, you know? And even the bounty that surrounds me, it's been pillaged and plundered and raped, destroyed. And the quest for money, man. And a lot of these people that did that, they don't even got money now. Shit. It's just been kept in a few hands that watered down, and it ain't jack shit. It ain't even worth that. Our country's trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Give me a fucking break. You know? And where are we at now? This river used to be teeming with fish. It used to be loaded with salmon, man. Like my grandfather, my family's been in these areas in the Northwest for 200 years. You know? And my grandfather told me when he was a kid that they could drive a wagon across the Columbia River up in Oregon when the salmon ran. Because it was a pillar of fish across the entire river. I don't know if you ever been up there, but shit, man. That's enough to feed everybody, you know? And like even now there's a reminiscence down here in Northern California where I'm at of the abundance that used to be here, the bountiful abundance, you know? 25 minutes, 30 minutes from here, there's trees that are shit, man, 10, 15 feet across, you know? There's trees out here 26, 27, 28 feet across. Shit, my house is only 15 feet across in sections, you know? The whole thing's 30 feet. So the whole house is 60 feet long. And so 2 of them trees was as wide as my whole house. Come on now. And they're gone. 1 to 2% of God's glory is left, you know, like that. Man, salmon, shit. When I was a kid, they get the runs, you know, summer runs and stuff. They get these big summer hogs up there. They come up the Columbia River. You go to the gas station, you can buy yourself a 50-pound fish for 25 cents a pound, man. Fresh, right out of the river. Shit, you're lucky to even find fresh salmon nowadays. You can't. Like, these motherfuckers are out here that they raped and plundered and pillaged everything. Trying to farm the shit, it's killing off the native fish. It's insanity, man. I'm off the point, but it's insanity. Spiritual assault. You know? Them trees got spirits. They cut them big trees down. They killed them fish because they didn't want us to have a shared experience with God. And then big trees, and then big giant tan oak trees they had out here, them groves with the acorns and everything, you know, they kept those people in a living experience with God. The acorns knew them, you know, the acorns knew multiple generations of them people. They always were in the connection with God. They all knew how an acorn felt like, and the acorns knew how they felt, you know. Same with the fish. They knew the abundance of fish. They knew God. They knew their names. We're all participating in a worldwide spiritual genocide. Yeah, man. We are. You know. And like, the thing is that the battlefield, it's inside each and every one of us, you know. But we got a lot of people out here that should be armed up, you know their name, and speak on that, and find their brothers and sisters that do the same, you know. We need to build tribe again. I'm in one of the few places on the west coast of the United States of America, because that's about as far as I've wandered. Because hell, what I wander, you know. This is where God planted me. And just like them big trees out there, you know, I gotta put roots, I gotta dig deep, but to become a big tree, you know. But as far as on the west coast of the United States of America, on all the states east of the Rockies, man, this is one of the few places I've been that could sustain us, and it's been raped, pillaged, and plundered. But that was a long time ago, you know. They stole everything, and they stripped it, you know. But it's recovered pretty well, you know, because it's so far the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's covered with illegal pot growers and shit. A lot of criminal activity. You know, it's been a tough place to live. There ain't no economy, nothing out here, nothing. You know, there ain't been nothing in a long time. This is one of the most this wild place. You know, it's wild like Alaska, a little wilder, maybe a little. You know, and it's gangsters, it's the gangster shit out here. You know, keep it real. But on the west coast of the U.S., as far as everywhere I've been else, man, it's all Walmart and Costco. You know, they got a little bit of that shit, but it's like 120 miles one way, 65 the next, you know. Closest Safeway is about 50 miles from here, you know. And so God's still out here. God keeps it real, you know, out here, man. That's mice getting in my place. And I tried everything. Seriously, my partner was out here, you know, we tried everything. They wouldn't bite on nothing. Traps were set with everything. Cheese, egg, walnuts, you know, we tried it all, man. Different shit. Tried it all. And put an acorn on there, on that trap, you know. Put an acorn in and snapped them up. Just bam, 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 bam. Couldn't even let the trap sit. Just bam, 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 bam. Got them all, you know. And so those mice, they're still having a shared experience with God. They are. And that's why they wouldn't snap on nothing else, you know. They're like, nah. They didn't recognize it, you know. They didn't know its name. They didn't know it, you know. They've been out here. This is so wild out here. They don't see that other shit. There ain't other people out here. There ain't other places. Just a few of us, you know. Few apart between. So these guys, they spend a lot of time in their natural environment, their native environment, where they eat acorns, you know. God wants us to have a relationship with creation more in that light, you know. Spiritual attack. See, them mice, they're safe from spiritual attack. You know? Till I tricked them. You know, and I tricked them by putting what they know in their heart, you know, that they should be able to trust. Because that's what God feeds them on. They went for God. And they got snapped, you know. And that's how these big fish work nowadays. That's all these individuals out here work a lot, you know, nowadays. Except for they reversed it. They've taken away all the stuff that God gave us. They took away the acorns. So many generations now, shit, we don't even recognize an acorn. And so they can put whatever garbage out there, and we think it's God providing, you know. They bribe you now with money. So not only is it a trap, they bait it with poison. And a lot of us belly up to it, you know. Bring our children in, let them get harvested too. We need to get back to tending our own gardens. knowing how to feed ourselves and letting God teach us how that's done again, you know? Let God feed us instead of being lost in jungle that's been stripped of everything that is God and then being duped, you know? Being tricked because they wave something in front of you that seems godly, godlike, or reminiscent of what used to feed you, you know? Because the trick with the mice, you can't hardly find an acorn out here because the forest has been poorly managed and the deer are thick. Nobody really hunts deer much anymore, and turkeys are thick, you know, and nobody really hunts the turkeys much anymore. And the insects are gone. You know, I've seen far less acorn here in the last 3 years than ever. The pollinators are gone, man. There's no insects. Everybody says I'm crazy, but shit, man, you know. So these mice, they're smart enough to turn their nose up to the temptation, you know. But I went to get some stuff in town, you know, and so them acorns I picked up, they're from 160 miles away from here. I found a tree with a bunch of them, you know, and like, shit, I tried cheese from the store. And I tried all that other shit I was tempted to buy that I brought home for me to eat because I ain't providing for myself. Let God provide for me, you know. So that acorn I put on that trap wasn't even a real acorn, honestly, to these guys. But close enough that they bought it, man. That's spiritual attack. That's the way it works. It's the way it works. So that mouse was doing the right damn thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah. That mouse was listening to God, man. It's just that mouse needed to have a little bit better discernment, you know? But that mouse is hungry, starving for a little bit of God. All these other motherfuckers trying to destroy everything that they've known that is God around them so that they don't recognize God anymore, you know? And that, my friends, that's spiritual attack. Y'all should think about this. I think about it all the time. Everybody's left me, man. Spiritual attack. Spiritual attack, you know? We're like mice. Everybody's flocks together, you know? Especially now, the acorns are thin out in the forest. Hey. Even the human beings can't really live out in the forest anymore now, so can't raid them. Reason the acorns are thin is they ain't doing their job in the first place. They ain't living in their own forest, you know? They're letting somebody else come in their forest, cut down the trees that feed them. Reason I was on here to rant anyhow, talk, have a conversation, share my whatever, you know. It's because I've been getting a lot of advice from other readers, people that read tarot and channel messages and have really bright spirits, you know. They got good light in their hearts, they got good light in their souls, you know. Mystic Tori is really somebody who I'm grateful for. You know, it's a wonderful person, it's a beautiful soul, you know, a great heart. And she's helped me understand, you know, not to listen to the other mice, you know. but to listen to the forest and recognize the acorn on the trap. God didn't put that acorn there, you know? And honestly, that's a beautiful thing to teach individuals, to teach people, you know? And like, Tori was there when I needed that lesson. And like, you know, another person, is Prosper Goddess, was there when I needed that lesson. God let that wind blow in my branches in my garden, or whatever, you know, let that rain fall, you know, gave me that ground to put roots in, or whatever the hell you want to look at it, you know. Um, but I appreciate that, you know. Um, with Mystic Tori, you know, she's a very beautiful individual. She's of the light, and she's a kind soul, you know. She's a good person. She's a kind soul. And like, I've watched her, I've witnessed her experience spiritual attack, you know. I really have, you know. And I've seen how it affects her, you know. I've seen how it rattles her. I've seen it, you know. And like, she stays strong. Um, I love her for that, you know, and I appreciate it. And like, I like hearing about the rabbits that has in her garden, you know. A lot of life and abundance, and she's got her flowers in the garden there. That grows in the light, you know, because that individual is of the light. They know the light, you know. So I'll say it straight. Prosper God is pray. Pay taught me that not all flowers bloom in the light. She taught me that I'm a rose that bloomed in a dark room. I came from the dark. You know? Mystic Tori, she loves those rabbits. She thinks they're real cute. They play in her garden, you know? I know how it is. Rabbits are cute. Rabbits rabbits also could be, you know, very destructive. And so she sees them in the light, you know? And it's fun to watch them play in the light. But sometimes something that is real cute in the light, at night, they come in, they eat your garden behind your back. That spiritual attack. My petals open up in the dark. I bloom in the dark. And so I'm watching y'all, you know? I'm watching Tori's garden at night. And I had no problem making rabbit stew. I know how to tend to the forest, you know? I live down here by the beach. At the same time, I had my own rabbit warren, you know, my own business, raising rabbits. I was selling them for meat to the local farmers market here, you know. And I'd take my son down to the beach. You know, there's a beach that was close by us. We lived in Eureka, raggedy ass place, you know, and like same with the damn beach, raggedy ass place. Stinky Beach was what it's called, raggedy ass place. But hey, you know, gotta find beauty where it is, you know. And so, but we go down there and the rabbits. I noticed, you know, that you'd see the weeds, you know, like when it was warm and wet, like when it was dry in the summer, you could watch the rabbits warren, the wild rabbits expand. There's a bunch of these wild rabbits out there in the dunes, you know, cottontail, but there's also these jackrabbits out there. And when the weather was good, it was dry, it was nice. The line that they would eat in the dunes, they'd eat all the grass, all the way down to the sand, you know. So just grass and then it'd be sand and rabbit poop, you know. And they'd only go so far from their holes, from their warren. And so you could watch that line expand throughout the nice season when it was dry or whatever. But then when the rains would come in and things would get wet, rabbits are real prone to staph. And so they get coccidiosis, mastitis, and multiple other ailments that are all pretty much associated with staph, you know. And so the grass would grow back. And the line would reduce. It'd get to where you could tell no more rabbit poop. And the grass was growing, you know. So the rabbits are gone, you know. The rabbits died. But I started to put it all together, you know, and then at that same time of the year, because I started to really have troubles in my own warren with the same issues, with the coccidiosis, with the mastitis, you know, and it dawned on me that what was going on, you know, and I associated, okay, so that's what's happening with the wild population of rabbits is the same thing that's happening with my population of rabbits, you know, that I was trying to take care of. I was playing God over or whatever, you know. And it was a real eye-opener experience for me, you know, because that's how God keeps things in order, you know, like, because if those rabbits just kept going, hey, shit, them rabbits, they'll eat the whole world, you know, and rabbits breed like crazy. They expand fast, you know, and they eat the whole world, you know. And so us roses, us flowers that bloom in dark rooms, bloom out there in the dark, you know. We're a lot like them mastitises and them little coccidiosises and then staph, you know. We ain't in the limelight. Hell, you hardly even see us. You don't see us. But we keep shit in check. That's spiritual warfare. So I'd say this is an advisory video. Don't fuck with God's people. If you're going to be a rabbit, be a daytime rabbit. Keep it cool. If you're going to be a dumb rat, I'm that fucking acorn that God didn't put on that trap that you're going to get yourself caught in. I promise you that. Promise you that. And so, if it's going to be spiritual warfare, don't attack my friends. You come right straight, talk to me, and we'll see what happens. Because I don't mind calling rabbits out of my garden, man. And I don't mind calling rabbits out of my garden, of my friend's garden. Fucking, I've had to call everything out of my garden. And that's so I can fight you in the dark and win. I don't know. I love these individuals that are out here working to spread the light. Because this is a dark place that we live in, and there's a lot of sick shit going on in these little screens that y'all are watching right now. That I don't even know if they'll let guys like me talk, people like me talk, you know? But we all got a voice, and so fuck it. I'm gonna talk. End of story. Fuck them. I don't care. 0 views? I don't care. I'll post 1 million videos. Fuck them. It's the light that shines brightest, you know? And that's what Tori said. You know, Tori says, hey, call them out. Well, you're called out, motherfuckers. Yeah, you are. And like she says too, she knows who you are. And I sure as fuck know who you are. Because God knows who you are. So how's that work? Huh? Who's going to get their fucking ass beat now? That's what I want to know. Who's going to cry at night now? That's New World Order. It's going down, you know. You know, on a side note, anybody know anything about rocks? I gotta know, I wanna know if I got gold in these rocks. Because I got a whole variety of different rocks out here on this son of a bitch, man. And we need funds to fight this war. We do need funds to fight this war. I mean, I need funds to pay for the land under my feet. And if I could make this into gold, that would really help. It really, really would. I've been working on it. Trying to figure it out. Trying to remember my alchemy from the good old days, you know. Eons ago or whatever, because I think I gave up on that shit many lifetimes ago. But I know this material's got something in it that could really help us all manifest more for the light. I don't know. We'll see here. So do a quick read. Now I'm going to get my ass in gear because today is a beautiful day. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. Me and the little guy gotta get shit done, you know? Little guy's getting a little chubby out there. All this summertime weather, all this wintertime rain and shit, whatnot. So, anyhow, let's take a look, see. Little guy, hey, go lay down.